Welcome guys to another medieval battle with Midnight Games Online. We are playing Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD, the free mod for Total War Attila. We have a very special battle for you guys today. This is a historical battle, the famous Battle of the Kalka River. It was fought in 1223 between the Mongol hordes and the Rus, or the Russian principalities. The Russians, or the Rus, had a Cuman army helping them as well, so it was more of a coalition. Now, historically in this battle, the Mongols won a very decisive victory against a larger Rus army, like a force larger than themselves. Let's see what happens in our version here. Now, as always, if you want to click fast forward and move to the battle itself, just click the timestamp in the description below, and you can skip ahead right to the battle. For everyone else that wants to check out the army compositions, that's what we're going to do right now. This was a 4-on-4 river crossing battle, although we fought it as more of a land battle. So let's start with the armies of the Rus. It's going to be very difficult to tell some of the players apart. I do recall, though, that this general was commanded by the player M. Donalovy. That's M. Donalovy because he had the double silver chevron, or those extra experience points. And this is the Knyaz Guard. We're just putting it in slow motion for the start of this battle so we don't miss anything as we go through the army composition. So there he is, one of the 3 Mstislavs that was in this battle. And Senior Druzina, or the heavy cavalry of the Rus. Very nice. That was part of his army. Here we have some Rus hunters, looks like 4 units of Rus hunters. These are the bowmen. And we have some Guard Badush axemen. He has 2 units of these. They have the 2-handed axes. Intimidating looking unit. These are the shock infantry of the Rus. And they are heavy shock infantry, which in this game means a lot. And the dismounted Druzina, some sword infantry here. Well, melee infantry, some of them clearly having hatchets or one-handed axes. This is a medium melee infantry. Looks like he has 3 units of those. And in the front, we have some medium spear infantry with a couple experience points added. So these are the medium spears of the Rus. That looks to be it for his army, with the exception of possibly these 2 Druzina units, which may belong to him or to another player. Very nice looking units there. Moving on to the Cuman army. Now, this is an army on the same side here as the Rus, and historically the Cumans did help them, and their leader who organized the movement against the Mongols was Khan Khoten. And there he is, Khoten Khan of the Terterids. We see him right here. Single-handed sword, very cool looking armor, green shield. And he is going to try to win back the steppe for the Cumans in this alliance with the Rus here. Because that's what the Cumans were. They were the rulers of the steppe before the Mongols came in and took over. Here are their hybrid foot guard, the Nogar foot guard. They're bowmen, but they are quite good in hand-to-hand as well, as they do have shields and melee weapons. Very cool looking masks. I love these visors. Almost like a clap visor design with a smaller hinge there, and just very unique facial design there on the visors. See another one back here. So 4 units of these Nogar foot guards. They do have militia spears here for the Cumans. Cuman Kipchak army. I see at least 2 of those. And some Moldavian warriors, some basic shock infantry here. They're crouching among the reeds. Another unit. Oh, these are the mercenary Mordvin spearmen, and it looks like there's 2 of those. These are light infantry, light spear infantry. We can see that. Very small shields on them around their leader, Khotan Khan. And we do have some Nogar Lancers. So these are the Cuman Lancers. 3 units, by the looks of it, of the Nogar Lancers. And here we have the heavy bow cavalry, the Uzdans. Hope I'm saying that right. For the Cumans. So that is the Cuman army, as well as the army of Amdonalavi, which was the Kiev army. The Cumans here are controlled by Owner Fush 1, 2, 3. The remaining 2 Kiev or Rus players are Bjorn Ironside and Nordin 1944. So let's take a look at their armies. Not going to be able to tell them apart, unfortunately. This was rather the Cuman army. Over here we had the army of Amdonalavi. And then we have the other armies here. So, unit of Guard Berdush here. This is either Bjorn's army or Nordin. More dismounted Druzina, 1, 2, 3. Of those, 4 of those. And a 2nd Guard Berdush unit here. And then he brings the heavy spears. These are the heavy Smurd spearmen. The Smurd spearmen of the Rus. And it looks like there are 4 of those. He also brings Rus hunters, and it looks like he only has 3 of them. I think the rule for the Rus was 4 each, maximum 4, but he only brought 3. Sometimes due to funds, you just can't bring the max. These Druzina, again, I'm not sure if they were belonging to Donalavi or one of these players, but they're coming back this way. We have 3 horse archer units, 3 more heavy shot cav with the Druzina, and then the Knyaz guard of the general right here. And there he is, another one of the Mstislavs, perhaps, that ruled, that commanded this gigantic Rus army, which some sources say was up to 80,000 men. And then looks like we're on to the last of the Rus armies. 4 more units of these Rus hunters there. He also brings the heavy spears, and we can see them again here. Very useful against Cav. And he gives them a few experience points, and he does bring 5 of them, so well stocked in those. 2 units of dismounted Druzina that I see, 2 more units of the Guard Berdush Axemen. The Mongols will not have shock infantry like this. 1 unit of senior Druzina here, 2 more units back here, and then the guard of the prince here, another one of the Russian princes. And back here we do have more horse archers of Kiev in the woods. Now, note these are mercenary Cuman horse archers that the Kievan faction has stocked away here. And the Cumans are one of their allies in this battle. So very fitting that they have more Cuman horse archers here on the side. Now let's fly over to the other side. We do have the Mongol army setting up here. These are going to be very difficult for me to tell apart. My army here is in the yellow. So we'll go over my allies. We have Dominic, DW13, Letholdus, and I think the last player is the Hussar, but his name is actually kind of turned into dashes because he's probably using characters. So hard to know for sure who that was. So we'll kind of look at these 3 allies all as one. And then we'll go over the Army of Night, the Golden Horde army, which is my army, separately. So these are the Mongol armies. We're using the Golden Horde to represent them. Medium shock cavalry here, the Burunday Lancers. We have 1 unit. And then a unit of the Batar, which is the hybrid shock cavalry unit. So they have a great charge and they have bows, kind of the elite Mongol troops. And 1, 2, 3 horse archer units there. A heavy horse archer unit here for the Mongols. all just taking positions in the field. 2 more units of Batar here hidden in the forest. And these are the mercenary Cumans archers. So we do have some foot archers here among the Mongols too. Siege levy spearmen. And we see them here. More Batar on the move. We see some Karash. Now these are just basically conscripts from other captured territories, which don't even have weapons. They're just thrown onto the field as basically meat shields. And yes, this did happen historically, as brutal and terrifying as that sounds. Some mercenary Mordvin spears here. This is a light spear infantry. More siege levies here taking it to the field. And then we have some Bulgar lancers. Now Volga, Bulgaria being one of the territories that the Mongols did take over shortly after this battle, but had, and then here we have Mongol horse archers. Okay, very nice. People are using the Mongol units in this battle. More siege levy spearmen, more Mongol horse archers. I'm not going over my army just quite yet. Now the Mongols don't have any shock infantry, unlike the Kiev armies, but as a bonus they did get 1 extra cav unit each to make up for that. These are more siege levy spearmen here, and we have one of the Khans over here. More of the foot archers, Bulgar horse archers, and then some Nakor heavy lancers. So these are the elite lancers of the Mongol army, just like the Batar, but these guys are very dedicated lancers. They don't have any bow and arrow capabilities here. Dedicated lancers. And in the back, a lot of the infantry is here. Lots and lots of siege levies. Some Turkish archers. This is quite a good unit here. And we have more Turkish archers. 2 more units back here. So that should do it for the allies that I brought. Now let's look at my army here, and we'll play it in regular motion at this point. Regular speed, rather. These are 4 units of Mongol horse archers, since each of us could bring 4 bow cav units for the Mongol players and 3 for the Kiev players. So those are Mongol horse archers, again using the Mongol units here. We do have 4 shock cavalry for the Mongols. These are the Batar, truly elite unit here. Should be very terrifying seeing those guys on a medieval battlefield. 4 of those. We do have siege levy spearmen here, so we're going to take a closer look at them as well. Very nice. 3 of those that I see, unless I'm missing one. And then we have the mercenary Cumans archers. This is another Asiatic or Asian group of peoples that were kind of swallowed into the Mongol Empire. And it looks like we are having a parley. Now the Mongols did try to convince the Rus to hand over the Cumans and to step aside before this battle, since they were basically chasing the Cumans out of the steppe and taking over the steppe. So let's see how this parley goes. It looks like the Mongols have lined up here, and the general of the Mongols is none other than one of the most famous generals in history in this battle. He was in his late 40s here, the great Subutai. And we have him here, although he was at his absolute peak. Oh, leg spike. He was at his absolute peak as a general. Now We could see him again there with his close guard of Noyons, Subutai, also known as Subutai the Brave, and Jebe being one of the other Mongol generals here. And there is Jebe, looking very good amongst his honor guard. And we have all four of the Mongol generals here, and we're going to talk to, or have a parley with, one of the princes of the Kievan Rus. However, Khotan Khan has come here as well, so it's going to be a little difficult to get the Rus to turn on their Cuman allies if he's a part of this parley. And we'll see what happens here as Subutai and Jebe will try to parlay with their foes. And there is Khotan Khan. And here is Mstislav of the Rus. And now Subutai and Jebe have dismounted and are going to meet them in parley. So guys, I'm glad we got through the army compositions, and the battle is just about to start. But first, one last try by the Mongols to convince the Rus to back down and to hand over the Cumans. But it looks like this has degenerated to a bit of a yelling match and intimidation tactics by the honor guard, and Khotan Khan is having none of this. He is going to make sure that the Mongols will have to face them in the field. And the Rus, they seem to have no problem with that whatsoever. They have the numbers, 70,000 or 7,080 men against 5,920 men. And the parley did not go as the Mongols hoped. The Rus are going to stick with their allies, and they will face the Mongols in the field. So Subutai and his honor guard are going to mount up. And we will have a battle today. All right, guys, so the parley did not go as planned. And here we go, a 4-on-4 battle between the Mongols and the coalition of the Rus and the Cumans, who have the number advantage. And here we go, guys. We have some horse archer mercenaries and some heavy Nokor horse archers, with the Mongols taking advanced positions in the field here. Some of these Batar have been moved up as well. And one of the Mongol Khans has moved into the forest here, or Mongol generals, I should say. And this is an interesting battlefield. There is some flooding going on, a little bit of water here beside the actual Kalka River, which is back here, winding through. This is just a little bit of swampy marshland here. So going through that water will slow the troops down considerably. They can do it, but they do slow down. And the Mongol horse archers going into a Cantabrian circle here and trying to fire away at
the enemy draws near.
At the Rus troops. And now they're getting set into their position. But a little too far away still. Now the Cumans are sending their heavy bow cavalry forward. They do have to go through this march. And the Mongols are adjusting and shifting over here. And will we get our first shots? The first arrows? It looks like the first arrows have been fired. And another volley right there. So very hard to coordinate sometimes in a big 4-player battle exactly who should be moving where among your 4 allies. Over here, these Turkish archers already firing away at these Cuman Uzdens. Now Kiev, with a big infantry advantage, is moving up here. This player is in position, this army of Kiev, and the other one is just moving up to match him. Now we do have some Koresh here in an advanced position, but the Kievan cavalry are going to hit them hard. And that is just 3 kills for this light cav from Kiev, and almost 50 dead Koresh on the field based on this one big charge by these Kievan cavalry. They are the mercenary Cuman horse archers, light bow cavalry with a big charge. And more action over here now as the Batar have gotten their hands on more Cuman horses and have sent them reeling, but are pulling out now as one of the generals is moving in, and the Rus general committing so early. Let's take a look in cinematic mode, guys, as the Rus take on the Mongol Batar, 2 elite units going at it. And the Rus general trying to pull out as another Batar unit came in and a senior Drzina unit intercepting them. The Rus general now wavering, fleeing through the infantry. Wow, what a close call here, guys. But the 2 Batar units now pinned by the Drzina. So just a massive, massive brawl here in the middle, and everybody's getting sucked into it. And a spear unit trying to catch some more Batar unaware. The Mongol horse archers firing away. One of the Batar units has gotten away. The second one, though, completely annihilated. And another Batar unit here caught taking a picture and charged by the Drzina. So a nice charge for the Drzina, killing a good 20 of these Batar. And they're continuing to charge in. The Batar here with a charge of their own. And arrows taking out men from both sides. They did clip this Drzina unit, but they are just getting shredded by arrow fire. And we have the Cumans bringing in their own horse archers, the previous masters of the steppe, and they are trying to make the Mongols pay for every single cav movement. And the Koresh here serving as a meat shield, just soaking up arrows. It's either that or turn around and be slaughtered. Those are typically their choices. And we have the Uzdens moving in here with a charge and crashing into some of these Khanty-Mansi archers. This group of Asian tribesmen in the Mongol army. And they have lost half the unit and are wavering. Will they rally? That's the question. Lots of
Enemy
horse
units
archer
have
fire
returned
going
to the
on.
battle.
Senior Drazina unit trying to charge into my archers, but I pull them back here. And they
The
are
enemy is
getting
going
riddled
for our
with
general.
arrows,
Protect him.
especially from the horse archers. And now the regular foot archers turn around and they're going to finish them. The Drazina thought better of the charge, and just absolutely shredded. They did stop at the last moment. And here we go, the very, very tough Rus infantry is going to move in against the weaker Mongol infantry. And we have some siege levies here that are ready to meet them. Let's watch in cinematic view, guys. So a giant infantry brawl breaking out over here. And more units coming in. Dismounted Drazina coming in against the Mongol spearmen. And overhead, just a flurry of arrows from both sides. So we now have these battle lines forming. And a charge here by the Uzdens, who have snuck into the gap between the Mongol levies and have taken out this unit of archers. And they're going to go for the rear charge, hammer on anvil, guys, here against the Mongol siege levies. And that is a mistake by this Mongol player. He's going to try to counter with his Batar, but it's too late. His siege levies the morale is gone. The Batar with the charge. And bowling over some of this Rus infantry, but that's too much infantry. 55 kills there, but that's just too much infantry to fight. We do have continued fighting over here. The Drazina getting slowly picked off. Only one of them has died to the Mongol arrows because of their heavy armor. And this Mongol general has charged, and he managed to break one of the spear units here. And over here, the Rus hunter unit being annihilated by my bows, but one of my own bow units is weakened as well. Two of them, actually. It looks like two of these units are annihilated. So some good action here, but is it going to be enough? And there's a mistake. A archer unit is straddled forward. Sometimes when there's so many troops on the field, you just make that mistake. And the Russian prince there not making a single mistake. The Batar have caught some mercenary Cumans, and they're going to make short work of them. And a rear charge will finish off what's left of them. But this army here, my ally, just completely annihilated. And now it's time, basically, for me to take on this gigantic infantry horde. And this is not good. The Mongol siege levies, I mean, the spear levies here, the siege levies of the Mongols, they are pretty tough troops, but they can't stack up with these Guard Verdouche axemen. So this is very unfortunate for me now. I'm being pressed from two sides by two players. The Batar here, though, with the charge into the back of these spears, causing them to waver.
This is a shameful display.
My foot archers are being pulled back. This has just gone from a well-coordinated battle into a total catastrophe for the Mongol side. Kiev and the Cumans doing quite well. This mounted Drazina now moving into this unit of siege levies. And just a brutal brawl breaking out there. And all along we have Mongol and Kiev units battling.
Men are broken and are fleeing.
And here a horse archer battle on the left flank. But it looks like these two armies are going to be too much. Too much to handle. My Batar here in a last-ditch effort to try to make something happen. A rear charge into some Guard Verdouche. So that's good. And we have charged at this. This must be M. Donalevi's general. He's been charged by a unit of Batar. So one of the Russian princes now wavering.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Possibly about to be taken off the battlefield by the Batar. This Batar unit with 130 kills, but they are just surrounded. This one with 80 and the same situation here.
The enemy general is dead.
And there he goes. We do have one of the Russian generals dead, but this balance of power is not looking good right now, guys. And the Batar unit there, outnumbered. The Batar unit here completely destroyed.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
And we have Subutai's unit and his honor guard of Noyons firing away at this dismounted Druzina unit. Khanty-Mansi archers trying to fire away as well. But basically, they're going to be stuck in hand-to-hand. But they're going to charge here. And from the back, a beautiful charge by Subutai's unit into these dismounted Druzina. So kind of sandwiched from two sides. The Mongol horse archers are pulling back here, trying to rally, but just completely destroyed as my ally here was wiped out. And Subutai's unit here with 46 men out of 53 left and 82 kills. This unit of Khanty-Mansi archers also trying to pull back. And I am trying to rally what is left of my army, just the tattered remains here. The Khan's still under fire. One of these units here pulling back. We do have a unit of siege levies that rallied, but they are going to get chewed up by just a large number of these Druzina.
The men have broken and are fleeing.
And this wing also falling. That is going to be rough for the Mongol odds. The Mongols looking okay on the right wing. But my two other allies that were closer to me both look like they have been annihilated. And that's just what these Guard Berdush can do to some weaker Mongol infantry. On the right wing, we do have some Mongol success here. Taking out the Cumans, wiping up the Nogar foot guards here.
Our men are breaking off.
So the right wing doing well for the Mongols, but that's just 1 out of 4 confrontations. Whereas for me, it was more of a story of getting double teamed. And yes, one of the allies has been completely wiped out already. I'm thinking 2 very soon, as the last of these horse archers are wiped out. And just nothing left. Nothing left over here from either of my allies. The Rus doing very well. Moving in with some Rus hunters here as these Mongol horse archers looks like they have completely dismounted now. And I think that was just a misclick. But it was very fitting for how this battle went, was to have the very last of the horse archers being dismounted. And a good charge though here by the general's unit, Subutai, crashing into the guard of another of the princes and trying to take out a second Rus general. That would at least give the final Mongol player a chance, although it would be a very slim chance. And these Mongol horse archers, which again seem to have dismounted very recently, are being thrown in here into melee to back up the Khan against this Prince's Guard, which has lost about 20 men. But that won't last for long because the senior Druzina here are circling and they will finish off Subutai for sure. And here they go. And the Mongols now surrounded by Kievan cavalry. And this prince will survive most likely.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Subutai down to 27 men. The Russian prince here with 30. And that will probably be it for the Mongol general. Mongols having wiped out this right flank. That might have been the Cumans that are off the field at this point. But the left flank and the center, all that's left is this general's unit.
Our men are rallying. They're not done yet.
And a small unit of horse archers having rallied and firing away here at the Cumans, but that will be very short-lived.
The men's resolve is failing.
And Subutai's unit wavering now. 20 men left, and they do break.
The men have thrown down their weapons.
They do break. So almost half of the unit of the Kievan prince went down, but he is still alive. And there goes my general, guys. I've been wiped off the field as well. And as you can see by the balance of power, there is 2,170 left of the coalition, the Kiev-Cuman coalition between the Rus and the Cumans. So over 2,000, and we have less than 1,000 is this last Mongol player, and I do believe this was Litholdus. His general is wavering already, which is a very bad sign. Oh no, his general's over here. This was one of the surviving generals, which was just kind of ran over here for some safety, very temporarily. And Litholdus trying to use these horse archers to get some kills before the enemy makes it all the way in here. But they're actually getting shredded by foot archers, the Rus hunters. And one of those units is broken. And the Rus taking their time, biding their time, moving around, and bringing in this heavy cavalry, which will be more than enough to take out what is left of the Mongols. So here they go. And a charge here, possibly. Oh, they stopped and got off a shot, and now they will charge. No. Too much incoming arrow fire, and we can see just men dropping. And they did not charge. Now the Khan here pulling back. He does have a bit of a spear wall set up between his siege levies. And a few Turkish archers in the back. Some of them out of ammo and wavering. Some of them still with a few shots left. So he has some last defense that he's going to set up. And here they go. They're firing away at this mass of Rus men. The Khan firing away as well. Trying to stall the inevitable. And pulling back. Now he is kind of in a little advantageous position. Oh, we do have a charge here by the horse archers. Not the best unit to be throwing into a charge, but charge they do. And scoring some nice kills there against the dismounted Druzina unit and a bit against this Axeman unit, and crashing into some archers there with what is left of their unit. killing looks like 1. But, I mean, too little, too late. And here we go, the Guard Berdouche. Taking on the Turkish archers.
The battle is no longer in our favor.
The battle not in our favor, yeah, we figured. And this position here, surrounded by water, will help the Mongols, but I mean, even a little advantage like that, it's not going to turn the tide. The Rus cavalry circling around. The Khan trying to steer away from them. And it looks like he's going to go for one last desperate charge, a defiant charge against the Russian cavalry here. And that won't go well for him. And the Rus circling here, and it's just a matter of time before they do what we know they're going to do. And that's charge into these Mongol infantry. And that is going to be it. This whole line breaking, guys, with this charge by this Rus general. And the Mongol general over here shaken and wavering as well. And the Battle of the Kalka River, which was won in real life by the Mongols,
Our allies' general has fallen.
one-sidedly has gone the other way, almost as one-sidedly, with the Rus winning. And my team here, the Mongols of the Golden Horde, with a valiant defeat. Let's take a look at the stats, guys. So we do have, we'll start with my army here. Subutai, the general here, with 109 kills. The siege levies did not do very well. One unit with 65 kills, which is okay, but the infantry from Kiev is just a little stronger. Now the foot archers did a little better here. 2 units that I thought I was happy with, 80 kills and 73 kills. 2 units that are a little bit worse off. From the 4 Batar units, I would say these 2 did really well, 173 and 130 kills. This unit acceptable with 84. This elite unit, which I put an extra experience point on, really disappointed, only 55 kills. Of course, they were probably thrown into a bad situation. And the Mongol horse archers could have done better as well. 37 kills, 52 and 44, and then a unit that only got 3 kills. So overall, not a great performance by me. Probably didn't have much of a chance as Dominic and this ally here, which was probably the, you know, ... and all of these were some sort of characters, seemed to be wiped out by some excellent teamwork from the Kiev players early, and that allowed them to isolate me and then Letholdis. Dominic's army here as well, Khan with 171 kills, very nice, and one of the spear units doing well. The other 2 and his archers not so much. As far as his cavalry goes, he has 2 units that did really well for the Batar and 2 units that did not do well. And his horse archers also did not do well, with the exception of this unit of Nokor heavy horse archers, which actually scored 275 kills, so did really well with that unit. Letholdis, who was the last player, I do believe he had success against the Cuman player, Onerfush. 85 kills for his general. We saw him fighting to the end there and then dying at the last second. His spearmen, kind of hot and cold. Again, spears are not going to rack up a ton of kills in this game, but still some of those units, 86 kills here and here. That's quite impressive with spears against better infantry. His foot archers doing well, 116 kills here, 75 here. This unit, though, only 12 kills. And then he has his cavalry here. The Bulgar Lancers seem to be his best unit with 138 kills. The Barandei not doing well. The Mongol Lancers not doing well. And then the Corps, surprisingly, also not doing well. Again, probably because they were surrounded at the end or earlier on and just in a bad position. His Mongol horse archers did well here, 56 kills, but then the rest of his horse archers did not do great. Again, a very tough game for the Mongol side. Let's move on to the last player here. His general with 182 kills. Quite impressive. However, his spear infantry just annihilated. I mean, this is really bad. 15 kills, 18 kills, 5 kills. 43 here, not bad, but 14 kills. He does have one unit with 71 kills, but that doesn't make up for the rest of them. And the Koresh, the meat shields, I mean, what can you say? They don't have weapons, they don't have armor. They're going to get 0 kills. Most games, I think I had a game when one of them got 2 kills, and I was really happy. Over here, we do have the archers, and they do have very poor numbers as well. A unit of fire dancers, though, was brought, and they got 61 kills, so not great, but not bad. And his Batar doing well, 130, 141. This unit a bit weaker, and the Barandei just weak as well. So some good play over here, but again, it doesn't quite stack up to what Kiev did. So let's take a look at their army. And Donalabi, yes, so his general did have the 2 silver chevrons. You know, that was him at the very beginning that I pointed out. And his general did die. And I believe it was one of my Batars that finished him off. And he was wounded already before that. Only 7 kills. So that was a mistake that we could have exploited and tried to use and tried to, you know, turn the game around in our favor, but it didn't happen. And here we see the excellent numbers for the Guard Berdouche Axemen, just triple digits, 101, 105. The spears, not bad. And then the Druzina, again, this unit, 134 kills, which is excellent. The bowmen overall doing poor, but not terrible. You know, if you're getting in the 30s, you're not getting enough kills, but if some of those are cavalry kills, well, that's not so bad. You can work with that. His cavalry, though, seemingly getting annihilated here. 24 kills, 4 kills, 8 kills. That is not good for Senior Druzina. And then his mercenary Cumans as well, not doing too great. This unit with 28 kills, not too bad. But basically his Druzina and his axes were his strong points. And then the rest of his army just kind of hung in there. Nordin, 170 kills for his general. And again, the Guard Berdouche are in the triple digits, 125 and 105. So good use of them. The spears, poor numbers here, but as you can tell, they're still alive at the end of the battle. So some of these maybe not even getting involved, like this unit here. The Druzina, 71 kills, 35 kills. And again, most of these are alive at the end of the battle. This one unit did get annihilated and did not put up good kills. And then his archers also, very poor numbers, 29, 12, and 1. He made up for it with his cav. 176 kills for the Senior Druzina unit, 48 kills over here. His horse archer's doing a little worse. But overall, good numbers from him. I think between his Druzina and his shock infantry and his cav, including his general, he did put up really good numbers and contributed big time to the win here. Bjorn Ironside, wow, look at these numbers. 330 general kills. I do have to double check. Is that the most in the game? Yes, it is. 248 kills with this unit, 178 kills with this Guard Berdouche unit. I mean, if you combine that, that's already over 400 kills between these two shock units and 330 with the general. Ridiculous numbers. And his spears, amazing numbers for spears. This is even more impressive to get 111 kills with a spear unit here against decent foes, a lot of which are cav. The rest of them also kind of holding up quite well. His Druzina unit here, good numbers with 84 kills, and then poor numbers over here with only 6. And even though these are not great numbers, this Rus Hunter unit is not exactly a good unit. So to see them get 61 kills is pretty good, especially considering that they're still alive at the end of the battle and they could have still contributed some hand-to-hand kills. You know, not much, but something. So Bjorn Ironside with just an A+ game. I mean, amazing all around. And look at this, triple digits for each and every one of his cav. The Senior Druzina here with some extra experience points added. And even his horse archers, I mean, just an A+ game from top to bottom. Boom, boom, boom. 161, that's probably the most besides that one heavy horse archer unit that I've seen. And 112, and then down to 81 over here. So excellent game by Bjorn Ironside. I mean, from top to bottom. So those are the 3 Kiev armies. And now let's go to their Cuman allies. The Cuman-Kipchak Confederacy army commanded by Onerfush. 26 kills on the general, Khan Koten. And it looks like he was probably taken off the field at some point. These 2 spear units wiped out, 1 kill, and then 35 kills. You have the Mordvin spears also wiped out. This unit actually alive, but only 38 kills, and half the unit gone. And the Moldavian warrior swords, a little bit better here, but still not great, 37 and 61. The Nogar foot guard doing very, very well. These are very good units. 84 kills here and still alive at the end of the battle. Or maybe they retreated early, who knows. 90 kills, 134 kills, so very good numbers, and down at 51. So Oner playing a good game too, and his Lancers as well with respectable numbers, 114, 25, and 41. And then the Bocav, excellent numbers for Bocav with 47 and 141, although a bit lower here with 14. So Onerfush with a great game as well. Just hats off to the Kiev and Cuman alliance here, which changed history. We, lost this battle as the Mongols. It was a lot of fun. Historically, though, guys, if anyone is looking for this information in the video, the Mongols did win, as I mentioned, in a one-sided fashion against this larger army, this Cuman-Kipchak Rus army. But we could not recreate that in this battle due to some very good gameplay by the Rus players. So congrats again to those guys. And thank you for joining us again for another medieval battle. And we'll see you guys next time with more of these medieval battles right here with Midnight Games Online.